Good afternoon, good evening. 6 o'clock on the dot. Let's see. Hi, Shells. Hello, Dee Dee. It is 6 o'clock exactly, so I am waiting for others to arrive so that we can start our course today. Turtle Bud, welcome back. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Stephanie, how you doing? Welcome back, welcome back. Okay, so I was gonna give a little bit of time to well, I don't see you, but hopefully I'll see you. Maybe I can get you on this time. We can do a little activity together, Turtle. But if you're open to that, let me know. But welcome back to class. So I keep looking over here at the time. So I want to give people time to join. And I guess in the beginning, what we'll do is kind of do a brief that will give you anxiety. Okay, well, perfect. Perfect. You come on and we're going to do an activity that hopefully helps with that, okay? Remember, this is easy. This is a stress-free zone. We are just learning more about ourselves and our brains and how anxiety shows up, and then some coping skills to help us deal with it, okay? So let's not be anxious, Turtle Butt. So as we wait for people to join, I did kind of want to go over a little bit of last week class. So I want to go over a little bit of last week, and those of you who were present for last week's live or last week's class, make sure you just jump in, chime in, and talk about what we discussed last week. So quick overview. Last week we just dove right into what anxiety is, how it shows up. We talked about the definition, all of that good stuff, right? And we know that anxiety is like our brain's alarm system. It's just that sometimes it goes off without there being a real alarm, a real threat. But it's still necessary. It's essential, it's necessary, and it's just a response to stress or perceived danger, right? That's what anxiety is. And then we talked about the ways anxiety shows up. So those of you who were here last week, maybe you can drop it in the chat, some ways that anxiety shows up, those physiological signs of anxiety, some being a racing heart or increased sweating, the stomach flutters. What else did we say? Shortness of breath. Shortness of breath is one. Okay. And we also moved into the differentiation between worry, fear, and anxiety. Because anxiety, yes, it is a real diagnosis. And yes, we all experience anxiety to some degree at some point in our lives. But sometimes it's getting passed around just like, the word of the season. And it may not be anxiety. It may be worry. So let's call a thing a thing. You might just be worried about it. Or it may be fear. And then you can also be dealing with some anxiety. That's okay. But we wanted to differentiate between those so you can understand and put a name to what you're experiencing. So worry, just to recap, worry is cognitive. That's your thinking, right? You're thinking about something that might go wrong. You're thinking about a potential what if. It's all in your head. You're thinking this thing. You ain't feeling nothing. Your heart's not beating extra fast. You're not breathing shallow. You're just thinking it. That's worry. And then fear is an emotional response. So now you're feeling something. Okay, excuse my chair for the noise. But the fear, you're feeling something. And then anxiety is a mixture of both. You're thinking the thing, you're feeling the thing, you're experiencing all of this all at once. Okay, so sometimes may not necessarily be anxiety, it may be worry, and we can differentiate between the three. And then we can apply coping skills to help to manage whatever it is you're experiencing. Okay? What else did we talk about last week? The difference between them. Oh, when anxiety becomes a disorder. So it becomes a disorder when it's persistent. It occurs for most days for 6 months or more. Let me get the words out of my mouth. Okay? It's excessive. It seems out of proportion to whatever the experience is or the situation is. And then it interferes with your daily life, your family life, your relationship, your work, your school, whatever. It interferes with that. So that's when it may have crossed over into a clinical diagnosis or disorder. And one thing that I also said last week, and I want you to always take with you, be mindful of what you say to yourself and about yourself and what you're experiencing. Try your best not to say, oh, who is this? Nay? Is it Nay? I'm experiencing anxiety. I like what you said because this is where I was going with this, right? Be mindful of what you say. Stop owning everything I have or my anxiety. I'm experiencing some anxious thoughts or I'm experiencing anxiety because we all experience emotions, right? But you don't have to identify yourself with that thing and think that's right. It's not yours. You don't have to own that thing. It doesn't have to define you. I just want everybody to know that and to say that it does not have to define you. Thank you for sharing the live. Okay, so that's a recap of last week. Now this week, we're going to dig a little bit into the anxious brain and the neuroscience behind the anxious brain. So I hope I don't lose you. I'm going to kind of do a little 101 version of this because I don't want to get too deep into it. I'm not a neuroscientist, but I know a little bit about the brain. So I want to at least share that to continue to build on our knowledge about anxiety, our brain, and what's happening. Hey, Faye. Okay. And you know me. If you were here last week, I'm going to look at my notes because I'm going to stay on track. I'm going to try my best anyway. All right. So again, anxiety is like our brain's alarm, or our brain is like our security system. When it's working correctly, it's perfect because it lets us know, okay, we need to be safe here. You need to be aware here. But when anxiety takes over, it's like having that smoke alarm go off every time you toast some bread. Like, we didn't need you for that. You know, I didn't need to overreact like that. Just keeping me alert is enough. But sometimes anxiety goes way too far and it's going off all the time. So who's responsible? What inside of us is responsible for that in regards to our brain? There's some key brain structures that I wanted to talk about. And y'all, please forgive me. I really wanted to be able to flip my camera and show you this diagram. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. I printed it out. What I'll do is when I post the notes for this class, I'll have it set up real pretty for you. But it's going to look something like this. Can y'all see the brain here? And it's going to be labeled and show you where some of these structures are. The two, I have a few of them on here, but the two that we're specifically talking about tonight are the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, because those are some heavy hitters when it comes to our anxiety. All right. So the amygdala is like a little almond-shaped structure in our brain right here. Let me look at it, y'all. Right here. It's a little bitty almond structured system or thing in our brain. Now, don't let the size fool you, because the amygdala, baby, when that thing goes off, that's when your anxiety takes off. The amygdala does not allow you to think and rationalize and figure out what's happening. The amygdala sees something and it says something. That is your for real alarm system within your brain. That triggers your fight or flight response, okay, our amygdala. So once it detects quote unquote threat, it's getting you prepared to react or respond. And a lot of times in physical ways, you'll feel the tightness in your chest. You might increase your breathing because it's preparing you for fight or flight. That's what the amygdala does. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're on a hike, you're walking around or down the street or whatever, you in the woods, and you see a stick and your amygdala says, oh, danger, it's a snake, it's a snake. And you just take off running. You didn't check out the situation, nothing. You go back and look at it. Oh, that's a snake. But you didn't do any of that because the amygdala signaled for you to be alarmed and there's threat there and it sent you off and running. Right? That's what your amygdala does. It activates the fight or flight. Oh, it's on. Let's get it. That's what the amygdala. Sometimes it's overactivated. And we're going to talk about some ways to kind of calm your amygdala. When it's overactivated, that's when you will experience a lot of anxiety symptoms, especially the physical ones, because again, it triggers our fight or flight. Okay. Let me see. Is there another way to explain the amygdala? I'm looking at my notes, y'all. Oh, also, it stores memories of fears, like past fears, so that if anything similar happens in the future, it'll alert you. So that's where some of our trauma responses come from, because our amygdala stored that memory of that fear. And now we're seeing a situation, or whatever we're involved in, that looks similar to that last thing that threatened us or that caused us that much fear, and it instantly triggers that fear response, even if it's not a threat. So it does store some of those memories for you. Any questions about the amygdala? I'm gonna wait a little bit and see if anybody has any questions before I move on. Nothing? No? Everybody get it? Y'all can give me a thumbs up if I can keep moving, because I don't want to go too fast, but I want to make sure I'm covering these things. Again, just kind of surface. I'm not going too deep into it, but just enough to give you some information. Okay, thank you. Is that Nessa? Thank you. I don't want to butcher your name. Tanya? Tanya. Give me another thumbs up if I said it right. Thanks, Alyssa. Okay. So I spoke about the overactive amygdala. Okay, good. The overactive amygdala, that would equal constant anxiety. It sees threats everywhere, even in normal situations. It reacts too quickly. Before you even get a chance to engage into your logical brain, your amygdala tells you that's something you need to be concerned with. That's something that we need to be afraid of. We need to either run or we need to fight. Or we might just freeze in place, because fight, flight, or freeze, right? But that's what your amygdala does, that overactive amygdala. But can we calm it down? Now, that's the part I want to get to, because yes, we can. We can calm our amygdala down by engaging in some mindfulness activities, some deep breathing activities. We can also engage in CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, which teaches our brain to reframe a thought, right? And I may talk a little bit about that later on in the course. But CBT, some cognitive behavioral therapy. Some people I noticed have said that, I don't know if that really works for me. And that's okay. It is known to be one of the leading interventions for anxiety. But maybe another intervention or another therapy such as EMDR or others are out there. But I wouldn't just give up. But a lot of this starts in our brain. Our thinking and what we think about a situation, what we think about a thing can cause us to respond a certain way. So if we can learn how to reframe our thinking, we're at least on that path, right? For healing and dealing better with anxiety. So these are some ways you can tame or calm your amygdala. Better sleep and exercise. And I'm going to definitely get into some exercise. I'll see if I can flip my camera, because I think I can do it this way. And I'll show you some key chemicals that are released when we exercise. And when we do this, it helps to calm our amygdala. All right. So I said better sleep, less caffeine. You might want to bring it down. Maybe not 3-4 cups of coffee. Maybe just that one will do you. Maybe not 3-4 Monsters a day or Red Bulls. Maybe just that one will do you. But if you get enough sleep, you exercise, you eat healthy, you can be on that right path. There are different herbs and teas as well that are good natural remedies for calming the amygdala and calming your nervous system, like lemon balm, chamomile, lavender, even jasmine. And when I tell you lemon balm is such a good tea, I actually made some before this class, but it was too hot to drink, so I can't wait till I finish so I can drink it, because it's very relaxing. So look up different herbs and teas. I'm not prescribing anything. I'm just suggesting some things that you can research for yourself. And then exercise, like I said, it releases certain chemicals that help to lower your amygdala. So let's do I have anybody want to come on? Let's do one of these exercises. I have a deep breathing exercise I want to do. And this is one that you can write down in your notebook or your journal if you are keeping notes for the class, and you can put it in your toolbox. Do I have anyone that would like to come on? I want to see if I can invite, who is that? Turtle Butt, are you still on here? Uh-oh. Says a new message. Okay, let me see if I can get you. You coming with me? How do I, hold on. Okay, I sent it. I'm gonna learn how to do this, y'all, and I'm gonna be a pro. I need to enroll in one of these classes. Turtle Butt, did I send you the invitation? Mm. Y'all, why isn't it doing it? Because I know I sent it. I think I did. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. And I wonder if I can make. Hey, Kima, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. I'm trying to see if I can invite anyone else in to do this exercise with me. Um, let's see. I don't know if I can. Y'all just bear with me a second. Okay. Nay. Did I say that right?
Hello.
Hey,
Yes. Hi, how are you?
I am well. How are you? I'm gonna turn.
I'm doing good.
Okay, good. Would you like to share your open your camera or no? You don't want to do that.
I do not want to open my camera.
Listen.
Listen, I got off work, and you know what happens when we get off work. You
Oh,
know what come off the first thing.
absolutely. Half of it be off in the car, so I understand. I get you. No problem. So I'm gonna trust that you're gonna do this with me, okay?
I will.
All right. So what we're gonna do is a breathing exercise. Let me try to pull up so I can talk you through it. Do I have it over here? Yeah. All right. I'm gonna talk you through this breathing exercise.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna bring her on. I'm trying to. Okay. She said try it again. I'm trying. I think I just did it. So let me see if okay.
Yes.
It's Turtle.
Hi.
Okay. Hey.
You
How
hear
you
me?
doing?
Good.
All right. Do you want to turn on your camera or no?
I will.
Okay.
We're
If you
gonna
feel
do exposure
comfortable.
therapy here. How
Yeah.
do I turn it
A
on?
little. Listen, it's just us. It's just us. Hey,
Okay.
how
Hi.
you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back.
Thank you.
Okay,
It's good to
so
be here.
good. We're gonna do this activity together. We're gonna do
Okay.
the 4-7-8 breathing method. Has anyone ever heard of this method of breathing?
I have.
You have. Okay, so you probably do it then regularly. No? No problem. We're going to practice it together, but I want you to do it with me. I'm not going to close my eyes. I'm just going to talk through it so that I can kind of watch you. Since Turtle, you have your camera on, I'll be able to see you. So I'll watch you do it. Feel free to close your eyes and relax. But I want to explain it to you before we actually start the breathing, okay?
Okay.
And this, again, is something you all can put in your toolbox. So this is a mindfulness meditation practice, breathing practice that helps you to stay in the moment and focus on what's happening right around you right now and kind of get out of your head or mindless rushing through something or whatever you're dealing with. It keeps you in the moment. It also helps you to cope with maybe difficult thoughts. Research has said that it even helps you to fall asleep if you practice it, frequently. So what you do if you're seated, you just sit, comfortably and make sure you're feeling supported by whatever you're sitting on. Hey, you joined us.
I did.
Welcome. So feel comfortable wherever you're seated. Notice your heel pressing the ground. If you can have your feet flat on the floor. Notice your heels pressing into that surface. Notice just the heels first. And then notice the rest of your foot. pressing into the surface, making no judgments, just noticing. Then observe your legs. Make sure you're noticing if there's any tension in your thighs, around your knees, your lower legs. Just notice, not criticizing anything, not changing anything, just noticing. Then you want to kind of straighten up your upper body. You don't have to force yourself into an upright position, but just kind of straighten it up, but try to still be as natural as possible. Don't force yourself into an unnatural position. Take your time and do this. Then observe your arms. You can rest them wherever is comfortable, if it's on your lap, if it's on the arms of a chair. Just notice your arms. Stretch your fingers out and notice the stretch in each finger. Okay. And at this point, you can start to rest your eyes. You can either just lower your head or just close your eyes, whatever feels comfortable. And then I'll explain how you're going to breathe. Before you start, just listen to the instructions. We're going to inhale through the nose very slowly for 4 counts. And you're going to hold that breath for 7 counts. And then you will exhale through your mouth for 8 counts. And we're going to repeat this 4 times. Okay? I'll do the counting, and you all do the breathing. You ready?
Okay. Yep.
So we'll inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe normally. This time, when you exhale, try to release and let go of everything. Make sure your shoulders relax, your jaws unclench and relax. Feel the chest relax. And to make sure you're inhaling properly and going to your diaphragm, maybe put your hand on your stomach this one time and check that. Ready? So we're going to inhale again. Ready? Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 8. When you exhale, push the breath out with your lips kind of pursed, like a straw, because that makes you breathe a little bit slower. Okay? Did that feel a little bit more relaxed than the first time? No? Let's do it one more time. This time I'm going to do it with you. So count in your head. I'll start it off and then I'm going to start counting. But I want you to keep going. So we're going to inhale. Hold. Exhale. That feels so good. How y'all feel?
I feel relaxed.
Relaxed.
It feels good, right?
Yes.
That was just 3 times. So imagine practicing this like routinely. This is part of your practice.
I could have used this yesterday. I was at the doctor's office and had anxiety, and my heart rate was 144.
Oh my goodness.
So I've been trying to come down from that since yesterday. So I really needed this just now. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad that helped. Definitely keep doing it. Keep practicing, because we know that deep breathing is one of those activities that activates our parasympathetic nervous system, and that's the part that helps us to relax and to calm down. So I want you to keep practicing it. Throughout this course, we'll talk a little bit more about other techniques and skills that you can put in your toolbox and you can use.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How do I leave?
Girl, listen, hold on.
I have no idea how to get out of here.
Oh, I can disconnect you. Okay.
Okay. Do that, please. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you all for coming on and participating. Do you want me to take yours off now, or you know how to do it?
Oh, I can get out.
You got it? Okay.
At least I think I can. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Thank you for coming on and participating. You all get extra stars for participating in the activity today. All right. So though that was a practice, if you didn't join the us, I hope you did it, just by watching. You took a moment to do it. If you did, give me a thumbs up and let me know that you did the activity, you did the breathing exercise, because it's really helpful, and I want you all to definitely, thank you for the gifts, thank you for the likes, but I want you all to practice this, and make it part of your daily routine. You have to take care of self. And a lot of times, I don't know, Turtle, what exactly was going on for you about that doctor's appointment, because sometimes it could just be going to the doctor, and maybe even the rush of getting to the doctor's office can increase our heart rate. But if that was what it was, or if it was something else, this is still an exercise you can do to help you to calm down and just stay in this moment, just to be present. And that's what we have to learn how to do. Like I said last week, so much going on in the world. It's so much that we're hearing and seeing on the news. It can increase a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety for many of us. So we have to learn how to take care of ourselves and how to disconnect. And one of the things that you may have to do is disconnect, turn some of that stuff off, sit back with yourself, breathe, take your time, be present right now, and just be here. Be here now. Okay? Not into the what ifs of tomorrow or the what ifs of next week. We're not there yet. Let's just be here now. Okay? So that exercise is one of the ones that'll help you to try to calm and tame that amygdala. Because baby Amy, I like to call her Amy sometimes. Amy goes off at any slight little bit tingy of a threat. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be real. But Amy, amygdala, is going to go off. That's our alarm system, though. We need her. But we also need the prefrontal cortex, because that's our rational thinker. You're welcome, Turtle. That's our rational thinker. That is the logic center of our brain. I know this is kind of ghetto right here, because I don't know how to work this thing yet. Prefrontal cortex will be somewhere up in here, right? And again, this will be in your notes when I post the notes, probably by tomorrow. That prefrontal cortex, we want to make sure that it's healthy, that we are checking in with it, because the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, or the PFC, they battle sometimes, because the amygdala is telling your body it's a threat and we need to be on alert. And your prefrontal cortex is like, well, hold up, let me see. Is that really a snake, or is it just a rope? Let me check it out first. But when our amygdala is overactivated, then it's harder to tap into the PFC. So let's talk about the logic center of our brain. Again, helps us to evaluate if the threat is real or not. It works against the amygdala to calm it down, to have time to check out if the threat actually exists. We need the prefrontal cortex to be healthy and strong, but if it's weak or less active, it's usually due to chronic stress or some trauma, and it struggles to regulate your anxiety when it's weakened. But there are some things we can do to increase that. Oh, I'm going to tell you what I know for sure. It takes women less time than men, but most men's prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed until they're about 25. I'm sorry, man. But we up here wondering why? Well, because the logic brain ain't all the way developed yet. He's not 25. I'm so sorry, but it's so true. We get it a little, and we've heard stuff like this growing up. Like, well, it takes men boys mature slower than girls, or girls are more mature than. We hear that, layman's term growing up, but there's real scientific evidence, guys. The males don't develop fully into their prefrontal cortex until 25. So don't be too mad and too hard on your teenage boys that you have to tell 15 times to go take that trash out. And they say, yeah. And then they go do something that just sounds and looks, what? I don't want to call it what I want to call it, but you just look at them a certain way. Like, what? Because it hasn't fully developed. Give them some grace. Just talk to them. Just be patient. After 25, though, hopefully, they'll tap in a little more because it's developed.